Hello everybody and welcome to my house, and this is yours truly Paromita. You know this Payal, no, my daughter, she's always into this art, craft and I don't know what not. She's look at these crayons and she drew on house which is green in color. I hope that she does not become an artist. So today who we have here with us is Jasmeen Patheja. Thank you Jasmeen, but people call her Jasmeen.
That's correct.
But I don't know what to call you. Jasmeen, because Jasmine is a flower and you smell very good today.
Thank you very much. You can call me whatever you feel like, but I'm Jasmeen.
Jasmine. ठीक है, I'll call you Jasmeen. Very difficult pronunciation. Jasmine, you're, by the way, she's the founder of Blank Noise. And your introduction to art was in a very, very unique way. You kept aside time to daydream with your grandmother.
So I don't think I kept aside time. It was my grandmother who, then in her late 50s, took time out for her grandchild. I must have been 3 or 4 and would come home from school, and summer afternoons would be with her, or all afternoons would be with her. And then she would keep creating these scenarios where she would say, today you're a flight attendant. And the next day she would say, you're the prime minister. So there would be these little scenarios that she would allow me to enter, and I would embody those. And as I grew older, I realized that a lot of it was based on what she wanted to become and her perhaps unfulfilled dreams or her desires that she wished she had studied further, or she wished she had followed a certain profession. So I don't know if it was my introduction to art, but it was definitely a kind of facilitated playtime with her. And and it of course is also linked with art practice, but she, at that time, it was play. It was just play with an adult that was extremely imaginative and driven and curious and instilled curiosity and imagination. So, yeah.
So did you fulfill her dreams?
Well, I don't know if I fulfilled her dreams, but as soon as when I got into art school and I was studying photography and fine art, that's when I teamed up. My grandmother and I teamed up and said, hey, this is where perhaps you could become characters that you've desired to become. So it kind of went the other way around, where she's played several characters, from being a fairy to being a politician to being the queen. And it's an ongoing process. So I don't know if I've fulfilled her desires, because that's a huge thing to fulfill, because also our desires are always growing and nurturing. But I definitely think our sense of play has been extended. We're still playing, and that's nice.
Even now?
38 and her 85, and we continue our play.
And she's 85. But now also you daydream with her?
Yeah, we daydream together in a sense that we exchange ideas, we exchange views, we imagine together. We also negotiate together. Sometimes at this point, it may not be always characters that she desires to become, but maybe it's me also challenging her, saying, would you also become this kind of character or that kind of character? So it's something that's growing and iterating, and there's a sense of play that continues, and challenge as well, which is part of play. If I think about challenge, and I think about, everything is a negotiation. Like for her back then, maybe for somebody who's always used to tying a bun, for her to braid her hair was a new thing. Or one day, she wore her pair of jeans again, which after I think 20 years. So yeah, it was her also negotiating her own boundaries, and at her age. Yeah, and I remember as a child, for a brief period I saw her wearing a pair of, wearing jeans, and and stepping into what she desired to do, and then she suddenly stopped wearing it, and then somewhere, maybe I think 10 years ago or 8 years, back in 2010, we went to Germany, and we were part of a residency there together. That's when she also got herself a pair of jeans, and wore those as part of another shoot.
Is she comfortable?
In jeans?
Yeah. But outsiders, they don't judge your grandmother?
I think she would be the best person to answer, so we need another one with her involved.
Because I'm always covered. I don't wear masculine clothes when I go out. I mean, I feel shy. I'm covered, but I just want to understand that maybe deep down, I don't know if I will, or I don't know if I will actually wear a pair of jeans, but I want to understand how she feels when she wears them and goes out, and possibly what others, their viewpoint when you see a grandmother. So.
Yeah, I do think that she would. I can speak on her behalf, but I do feel like she would be the best person to speak. Of course, there must be judgment, but that also, how long will the judgment last? Also, I suppose at some point, there'll be maybe people. I don't know. I mean, maybe people will just start seeing it beyond the pair of jeans to seeing that somebody at her age is pursuing desire and fulfilling desire, and asserting herself in ways that she would like to.
Absolutely, I mean, sitting in Bangalore, I think that she doesn't care.
No, I think it's part of the negotiation. It's like a way of unlearning and stepping into, and that's what perhaps connects what we do at Blank Noise and what I'm doing with my grandmother and my grandmother's doing with me, is that we're negotiating and we're shifting what is the norm or what is told off as this is just how things have to be. So whether it's my grandmother becoming all these characters that she desires to become, and in that process negotiating clothes, costumes, image, all of that, or simply just choosing not to be invisible, is a working. I can't just call it a choice, but it's also working on it and acting upon it and taking agency towards it. So yes, I'm certain it comes with, of course it comes with some kind of judgment, but I would rather, I think that it's also when do you put the blinkers on and when do you continue doing, and I think maybe she and I co-create some sort of safe space for us to continue, because that will be there. But there's also a lot of support. There is, of course, I mean, I won't. There will be some sort of judgment as to what are they doing, but there will also there is a vast amount of support as well. A lot of friends and friends of friends of friends are sitting with their grandmothers, sharing it with their grandmothers or their parents, and people writing in from everywhere. So without a doubt, there'll be judgment because it's not something that's typically done. And sometimes even when things are typically done, there's judgment. But I think there's an equal amount of support.